Today we're going to be showing you 4 simple graphs why this is not a housing bubble. This is a very interesting topic right now because there's a lot of speculation. People say we're in a bubble, the market's going to crash. Some people are saying no, it's not the same as 2008. So we're just going to look at the facts. No hearsay. We're going to look at the surveys and see what's going on. First and foremost, we all know that this housing market is very different than how it was in the housing crash 15 years ago. And these are 4 reasons. The first reason is stating that houses are not unaffordable like they were during the housing boom. Okay, that's interesting. So they're saying there's 3 components: the price of the home, the wages earned by the purchaser, and the mortgage rate at the time. Right now, we know mortgage rates are still low. The price of homes, I think the national average is 400,000. And they're saying 15 years ago, the prices were high and the wages were low. And the mortgage rates are over 6%. We see that's different. The Feds right now, they're trying to start the tapering, which will increase the interest rates. Therefore, they're stating that might lower the inflation rate. So let's look at the first graph. They're saying homes are more affordable than today than in 2007. So they're saying right now, the monthly principal and interest payments as a percentage of the income required to purchase the average price home is 20% down. So the normal lending standard is compared to the today's price, and that's 25% lower. And now we're going to look at the mortgage standards because everybody knows 15 years ago in 2007, everybody was getting a mortgage. Everybody knows about the infamous Lehman Brothers. We all heard about what happened and what they were doing with the subprime loans. Anybody with pay stubs, no pay stubs, you were getting a loan. That was inflating the market. People were refinancing their homes. It was bad. Credit agencies they were just giving people money to borrow, risky people with low credit scores. And we all know your credit score basically shows your credit worthiness. How well are you to pay back the money that was lent to you? So that's what happened. The lending standards have tightened up since the subprime mortgage crash. As you can see, the volume of loans has been decreasing steadily. The peak was in 2006, and now it's sharply declined. That's when Obama came in office in 2008. And it seems like the lowest peak was 2011, and it's slowly been graduating to, as you can see now, in 2021. So it's different. The third reason, they're saying that the foreclosure situation is nothing like it was during the crash. And the obvious reasoning was people were facing foreclosure after the housing bust. Very important. The foreclosure situation now is very different. 4 years of the housing crash from 2007 to 2010, the foreclosure number was over a million, close to 2 million foreclosures during the housing bubble of 2007 to 2009. That's very important. Let's look at the last 4 numbers during, this crisis we're going through right now. Foreclosure rates are a quarter million. To 2018, we're looking at 280,000. That stayed the same in 2019. In 2020, the infamous year of 2020, foreclosures stopped. There was mortgage forbearance. Nobody was getting forced out of their home. The rates drastically declined to only 130,000 foreclosures. The courts were closed. People weren't leaving their homes. There was a lot of rental assistance. There was a lot of mortgage assistance. There was so much going on in 2020 that people were not being forced out of their homes. And now look, at 2021, there was only 40,000 foreclosures nationwide. 50 states, 40,000 foreclosures. That is major. The peak of the financial foreclosure crisis 15 years ago was in 2009 at 20 million foreclosures. And I say this is the most important fact out of this article. I repeat myself. In 2009, there were 2 million foreclosures. In the year 2021, there was 40,000 foreclosures. Now, do you see why there's an inventory problem and why the houses right now are so overpriced? Because there is no inventory. People are not being kicked out of their homes, and it's very good. because I'm a fair person. I don't want people to get kicked out of their homes. I want them to raise their family. I want them to have a loving, nurturing environment. They have kids. Everything doesn't have to be an investor's grab, this and that. Hey, I understand. Until your finances get back in order, a lot of people during COVID, they were drastically affected. Get your finances in order, pay back your mortgage. Very different situation now. Right now, people are in their homes. Investors can't buy houses. The average people with good credit scores, sizable down payments, they're being priced out of the market. Bidding wars, minimum of over $20,000 over asking price. And you're competing with investors. Investors have credit and they have cash, and they're pricing the average person out of their home. So this graph is very important. And let's see what else we have. And like I said, the fourth thing of this article, they're saying there's no surplus of homes on the market. There is a shortage. New home prices aren't being built. New homes aren't being built. And it's just a grab for any house on the market. You have dilapidated houses that need remodeling, structural issues that are selling fast. Major cities like Austin, Phoenix, Dallas, Vegas, prices of real estate are skyrocketing. New York City, Long Island, Los Angeles. It's like you can name your price at this point. Miami, any major city, top tier one cities. It's a grab. It is a grab. People are coming in. Overseas investors are coming in and buying these houses for cash. So what does that do for the average person and the average person's family? This is the problem we have now. And there's a lot of speculation. People are saying, "Oh, is the bubble's going to burst? The bubble's going to burst." I've come to my senses and said, "Listen, these housing prices, they're not coming down for another 5 years. 5 years. After the feds figure out what they're doing with the interest rate taperings, after the inflation goes down, after the wages go up, it is so much going on in this country right now. To even think about purchasing a house, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. You have to study and you have to have your finances in order because this is not the same as what we experienced 15 years ago. And it might be gradual. When Obama came in office in 2008, house prices drastically came down. I remember that. Drastically came down fast. Why? Because it was overinflated. And they know, all these big banks, they know exactly what they're doing. They were just sending people with pay stubs and they were getting $1 million homes. $1 million homes. There was so much mortgage fraud going on